The Weekend in Jacksonville is presented by Stonecore on Phillips Highway, your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and more. Stonecore, we do outdoors better.
What's going on, Googans and Nooners and 1010XLers? Would you look at that? Second week in a row, Mia O'Brien, your second favorite media mogul, filling in for Dan Hicken on the weekend that is to come here in the beautiful city of Jacksonville. Let's begin with your Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll get to the stadium talk in just a little bit. Minicamp, mandatory or not so mandatory minicamp, wrapping up on Wednesday. Josh Allen did attend all 3 days. Thank goodness, everyone who was so panicked, everything is fine. Not only is he on the same page as the Jaguars coaching staff, he told me after practice he is once again going to be the Jags representative when the little contingent goes across the pond next week for the NFL UK Jaguars in UK event. See? Look at that. We're out here panicking about Josh Allen, and meanwhile, in Tampa, you have a hold-in Devin White, as in he's at practice but refusing to practice. You have Stephon Diggs up in Buffalo showing up to practice and then disappearing suddenly just because he wants the ball more. Things are actually okay here in the River City, folks. Deep breaths. Let's get to training camp unscathed, then all will be well. Yeah, unscathed. I think on the field we'll be all right. But the stadium talk, it continues. The Duval huddles, which have been absolutely tremendous, roll on here in the River City. Mark Lamping visited with the Frangie Show. I highly recommend you check out that interview on our 1010XL video, social, on-demand pages so you can get some questions answered that you may have. And I also encourage you to go to those Duval huddles and ask more questions. Mark has said that the numbers have been off the charts in terms of participation from all of you in Duval County and the surrounding areas for showing up and asking those questions. It's so funny because somebody asked me outside of Jacksonville, where are we at when it comes to the Jaguars' new stadium? And I said, I think we're all in agreement for the most part. I know there's still some of you out there, but for the most part, everyone knows that the stadium lease is coming up. The stadium is decrepit. There needs to be a new stadium. Good, cool, we get to that. Now this debate of where will the team play, raging on. Mark Lamping did tell the Frangie Show he is meeting with Frank Kelleher and the Daytona team on Friday, so those rumors are in fact true. Of course, that would also, much like Hodges Stadium and the baseball grounds option, require a $100 million plus price tag to get locker rooms, get training facilities into a NASCAR facility. And I just look at all that and I know you're gonna say, Gator Homer, you want him playing in Gainesville? No. Me? Gator Homer? Went to a D3 school in New York. No, I did not attend, but yes, I do have an affinity for Iowa and the Big Ten. You can throw Rutgers in there too. Not a Gator Homer. I'm just looking for an hour and 20-minute drive to Gainesville as opposed to having to schlep 2.5 hours to Orlando, or worse, see half of the Jaguars' home slates in 26 and 27 be sent across the pond to London. Take what you can get. The Gainesville price tag is the best you will find outside of perhaps the Orlando price tag. And even then, if you do 3 and 3, whatever, that's fine. I just don't see a world in which the team agrees to pay another $125 million to renovate the baseball grounds and renovate Hodges Stadium for projects that after the Jags move into their new digs will be for naught. I just don't see it happening, and I think if you're UNF, you'd much rather a $125 million check to do other things to your athletic facilities as opposed to build a football stadium when you do not, in fact, have a football team. The big news of Thursday and Friday, of course, the SEC schedule released late Wednesday night for 2024, and pundits across the nation believe that Florida may have the toughest schedule in the history of college football. There's those Gator homers. Actually, no, this is from Dan Orlovsky of ESPN. He went to UConn. See, more Northeast talk. I know, I'm such a Yankee. Here's what Florida's schedule in 2024 is looking like. Miami, UCF, Florida State, Samford, Kentucky, LSU, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, Mississippi State. Not a misprint. Yes, obviously the SEC schedule is going to look like this year in and year out, whether you're the Gators or one of the other 15 now member institutions. But the fact of the matter is I'm proud of Florida that they said, all right, we're only going to get 4 non-conference games. Let's see what we can do with that. We're always going to have Florida State. They went out of their way at long last to schedule the national champion UCF Knights and then a long-standing rival in Miami. This is actually good for college football. I want to see more rivalry games, and I want to see an institution say, yes, I want to play scared money, don't make money in real life. And so while Billy Napier and the team may or may not sink or swim with that schedule, I applaud them for at the very least trying. I think it will be fascinating knowing that, at least as of this writing, the plan would be for DJ Lagway, a true freshman, to be the quarterback of that team. And while he certainly could be enrolling in the next year and would have time to grow in Napier's system, yeah, that's going to be a daunting task. You're throwing that little boy to the wolves. Speaking of the Gators, College World Series, Florida, one of the final 8 teams remaining, their first trip back to Omaha in almost 5 years. Their first time getting out of the regionals since 2018. It's been an astounding run for Kevin O'Sullivan and the boys. They play Friday. You could catch that game on the Superstation, 10:10 a.m. They play at 7 o'clock against Virginia. I don't know a ton about ACC baseball outside of Wake Forest. Has been great all year. And my cousins went to Virginia, and my dad said that last week they were all throwing a party about how good Virginia is. What I do know is that if the Gators win, they play Sunday at 7. If they lose, they play at 2 o'clock on Sunday. Though both those games will also be on 10:10 a.m. for what it's worth. Where this gets interesting for me, they play either the winner or the loser of Oral Roberts and TCU. Now, Oral Roberts is just the 3rd ever 4th seed to make the College World Series, the first of which Fresno State won it all. It would be a great storyline, but you want to know what would be a greater storyline? If Florida is able to avenge the basketball team's NCAA tournament loss to Oral Roberts in the College World Series. That's it for the weekend ahead. Make sure you guys get out, enjoy the beautiful River City and all that it has to offer.